Hello guys, it's Tommy at Hysteria Gaming, and you find me on a very cold and windy, stormy English day, so I'm hiding inside and decided to bring you a bit of Battlefield 4. As you can see, there is some jet gameplay going here. Those of you who follow me on Twitter know that in Battlefield 4 I set myself the target of learning to get better in the air vehicles. It's something I spent very little time in Battlefield 3 doing, and I obviously picked the right game because in Battlefield 4 the jets, especially the attack jets, are absolutely beast. I'm sure they'll be due for a large nerf at some point, but in the meantime, hope you enjoy the gameplay. It's a nice little round I recorded, I think, on the second day, and I pretty much dominated the air and was pretty happy with the results, so I hope you enjoy the gameplay. But it's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk and discuss with you guys your thoughts on EA's statement that came out last night. I stumbled across this in Matt the Musketeer's video. I'll leave a link in the description to the video. But it kind of, after watching the video and reading the statement from EA on the gaming website, I kind of found myself being evoked into this reaction, and I ended up writing this long wall of text in his video. Sorry, Matt. But it kind of made me realize how passionate I can be about Battlefield and how much I really want Battlefield 4 to be great and live up to this potential that we can see with this beautiful game. Unfortunately, I, amongst many others, are plagued with issues. I'm sure when you're a developer company like DICE and you're trying to develop for 5 different platforms, it's a non-stop headache of different issues. But I don't really buy the spiel that their quality assurance testers didn't come across these issues like the networking and stuff. I just refuse to believe that, I'm afraid. Pure and simply, as far as I'm concerned, the game was clearly not ready for release, and if I'm honest, I'd be very surprised. I think if DICE were left to their own devices and told they could put it out when it's ready, we wouldn't see this game until spring 2014 at the earliest. Anyway, nothing we can do about that. The game is released. It's clearly not fit for sale at the moment. For those of you who don't really know what I'm talking about and aren't receiving issues, then you have my envy and I hate you. But most of us are experiencing huge issues. I'm lucky if I get 10 disconnects a night. That would be a good night for me. Sometimes I can't join servers, and the networking issues can change in a server within 10 minutes. On the same server, you can go from getting good hit detection to terrible. I've turned off all network smoothing, everything else. I've tried every single help I can. Anyway, I don't want to get too ranty. Everyone knows what the issues are, including DICE. There's been some great YouTubers like Jack Frags and various other YouTubers who've made videos discussing the problems, sending them to DICE in a constructive manner, and that is the way to go around getting things done. But what EA have essentially said is that all future DLC for Battlefield 4 is in the fridge. They're going to shelve it temporarily, of course, until the core game is fixed. And what that means is that the skeleton crew that have currently been trying to resolve the problems are now going to be joined by all the developers from DICE who are working on the future DLC of Second Assault and all the rest of it. So there is going to be a very split decision on this, on whether you think that's a good or a bad thing, and I wanted to discuss with my subscribers what you think. Do you think it's a good thing? I can kind of see there's going to be an argument for both sides. I'm sure there are many people out there who have paid lots of hard-earned money for premium, and you know, it's a really expensive thing. We're in an age now, nice crash there, we're in an age now where PC gaming has gone to, a game can quite easily cost you $100 or £60–70, whatever, which is a huge increase on 10 years ago. And so I can see there are going to be many people who are frustrated that they spent all this money and they've now been told that the DLC they're promised and that they've paid for early access to will not be released for several months, I would imagine. I would imagine we're going to be a couple of months behind, because that is the extent, I believe, personally, the issues DICE face in the game. I believe it's a much bigger problem than we know about. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have addressed issues like netcode so far, which they say they fixed in a patch, but clearly didn't. Anyway, to me, I can understand your pain. I was lucky that I cancelled my pre-order of Battlefield 4 and Premium on the basis of the beta, which was an absolute mess for me because of the optimization that Nvidia users faced. So I cancelled that, and I ended up picking up the base game and decided not to get Premium because I made that mistake with Battlefield 3, and the moment I played the beta I was like, don't make the same mistake again, and so I cancelled it, and I'm very glad I did. I'm sure that I kind of hope to see that this delay will actually mean that many of us will end up picking up Premium at a discounted price because it's going to be delayed, and it's going to be the game's going to be less relevant when the Premium DLC is coming out, so I'd imagine there'll be some sort of discount. I really would like to see, for those of you who did buy Premium, some sort of compensation package, not necessarily financial, but some sort of compensation from EA, because ultimately it's not really acceptable that you've paid for a product and you're not going to be receiving that when you were promised it. On the flip side, I think this is the best thing that could happen, because fundamentally the base game is flawed, and they could pump out 1,000,001 DLCs as far as I'm concerned. If the base game doesn't work, that's going to carry on into future DLC, and so it's only going to cause more and more problems. So it's great for DICE to just stop, sit back, and have a think about what's wrong. And the fact that they're going to have more developers now working on this problem means it will be fixed in a faster fashion, and we can all get back to hopefully living the potential that this game is showing, because I do believe there is a lot of potential. Anyway, I'd really like to know your thoughts and where you stand. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I shall catch you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.